Okay, Coach, we are in the so-called rock and roll capital of the world, Cleveland, Ohio.
Grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what. Like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah, I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down, but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dublin Shamrocks and the Cleveland Browns. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Okay, ready? 61, matchbox lights. Hey, wahoo!
They go play action here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Kristen Travis.
Watch it out! Check it out, Reed!
Smith.
They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joe Schobert gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to hope that's not a sign of things to come as they face an early 2nd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
First carry now for Nick Chubb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. That one goes for 24 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them in a screen pass.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it. It's going the other way. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Hey, lock it.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go. Get set now.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. From 4 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They're shoving his way inside the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Chris Jones on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A run for Nick Chubb. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. As his guys are in for 6. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
at their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come.
Go.
Again. Check.
Ready?
Looking to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. And it's fielded at the 34. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Yellow. Check back. 15. Check 15.
12, 64, weak. Check.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Got a man, that's Quinn. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Okay, just like that.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Browns have taken the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. 50, plant. Hey, you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Big hold to the 30. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. It's a gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Past the 20. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 70 yards.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Mahomes going to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And his kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Here we go. Set. 60 or. Keep it up. 53. Roll out. Check 53. Come on. Slow. Hey, Charlie. X3. 218. Chop.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Look at me. Go.
Back to throw now on 1st down. But the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
The Browns drive about to get started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A first down there on a pickup of 25. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Mahomes now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On play action, it's Mahomes. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. The Browns send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 27. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give running right is Chubb. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Yellow. Check 50.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
61. Matchbox, right.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
There goes a deep ball in, and that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
2nd and 2. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Check. Check hot. 6-6, pull it high. Safety cut, squeeze. 5.
They'll try and throw for it here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robertson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Flush to his right. And And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
General West.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mahomes to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Quinn. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Here,
on 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. That's taken in by Callaway. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
For a rookie first rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Throwing left side, it's complete. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Switch it. Hey, Echo. Hey. Motion. 56.
2nd down and inches. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Chubb. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Hey, 57. Let's go, Lloyd. Joker. Right side.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
To try again after the sack. Mahomes buying time. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
He's checking his bravo. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
He gave it. There. Get it.
Second and 1. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Being chased out left. That is incomplete.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Quinn, able to connect. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play call because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
That's a what?
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On second and 9, Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Chubb. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Now here's Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He's going to float this one deep right. That's caught inside the 20. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. And his guys have once again taken the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now Mahomes. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
Run for it. Here's Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, lock it. Yep. Hey. Watch out. Go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
8-3. Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, exit. Leo. Crouch.
They'll set up to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Set, ready? 18, Gator.
Mike, let's go, D. Dixie.
You draw Corker.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go.
One final try for Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Morrison. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty.